discussion, really, because teams are going to have more time to really start digging into it. We can see Chalet is now being played. It's a map that I enjoy personally. I think it's a good fun map. There's variety of attacks, which I think is always important. It's not sort of, a rinse and repeat, always clear down from the top floor, but you need to do that on some sites, but not necessarily others. So I like Chalet, and I think, given a little bit of time, we'll start to see some more innovation on here.
Just quickly wanted to highlight, I don't know if you saw it, like 15 seconds ago when the shot was in our beautiful studio. Of course, the camera went through the helicopter door all the way over, panning over Chalet. Really beautiful shot there. Anyway, Ying being banned straight away by Talon is going to be showing a little bit of the, factors they might be afraid of, right? They don't want to be dealing with those Candelas. And what we've seen so far is that, it's still a little bit of a 50-50 map. The attack could be favored here, especially in some of these bomb sites. Think of the bottom floor, for example. That gets combined with a couple of Candelas. Be quite problematic. But we might see some smoke executes instead then coming down if that is what they're afraid of.
Very possibly, especially with the Jaeger ban as well. That's going to be an interesting opportunity for CYCLOPS to maybe take advantage of. They've banned it out themselves, so they need to go in there and really sort of milk that one and make sure that they bring in the utility. Rushing to site early is another important factor potentially in a Jaeger ban for the attackers, because of course Wamai's discs will do the same job, but only over time. So the quicker you get down there, the less denial there is for those throwables. I would say potentially as well, we may see an increased pick rate for a Rooney. We don't have a Rooney brought along immediately, but the laser gates, of course, destroying throwable utility and needing to be cleared out. So it's another option to sort of mean that CYCLOPS have to slow down a little bit.
They have it 6 pick. Oh, actually to Castle. All right. I did say smoke executes could be a thing. Now it looks like they are not going for the glass. The glass one, throw the smokes down, use that thermal scope to try and find your enemies, but instead they decide to go with a Monty, which could be understandable as well, of course. Go for a reverse plant whilst you're having everything smoked out, making sure that shots won't hit. Try and bait out any C4s if they would be there, which is not the case. So if you're looking on pure plant denial, Ace, what is there available for Talon to try and stop them from using that Monty to just nudge down that diffuser?
Well, it's certainly a concern at the minute, as you say, without the nitros being brought along, particularly on in the hands of Malusi. You're sort of really limiting yourself, because this is a great site to be able to play that vertical denial. Of course, you can see all those nice soft wooden floors in and around site, and they are all destructible. So getting underneath and controlling kitchen and dining can often give you some real opportunity. Now, they have opted to bring Frost along, so that's going to potentially slow down. I think they'd 6-picked away from the Legion, so initially there was a view almost of going towards the traps and slowing down with Malusi, but look at this from Gatarada, straight in there. He's got the Claymore onto the door. He's going to start droning into sight, but Tomorrow can shut down Black Ray with a headshot to kick things off. That was an early access attempt coming in through Big Garage that was shut down really well there by the side of Talon. Very aware of all 3 floors, not just focusing on site itself.
Really wanted to highlight the shield that we just saw in the bathroom right there. I believe they put down a shield inside the bathtub. There you have it. It's going to be allowing them to play a little bit safer. Frostmat right next to the window as well. It's going to be allowing Canis to try and contest Solarium for as long as he potentially can without, before he's going to get dislodged by a potential grenade, for example. Also, bathtub is explosive proof, so if you try and toss in a grenade from below, that's not going to be working out.
Just going to hold his angle from behind the shield for the time being, keep himself locked in, but he could well come face to face with the big shield of the big boy Monte as the mountain moves up those Solarium stairs, just looking to get established on that top floor. Very aware of the Banshee that is currently present. In goes the EMP. That's going to clear things away and allow Aegator as well to get in there and take down. Now, I think that was very well timed, to say the least, as a throwable goes in and gets caught up by the Wamai Magnet just in time to avoid the Selma facing the same outcome. So that's going to sit on the wall for the time being. It looks like there's a mute jammer in place that's just preventing it opening up. And as all this is going on, Tomorrow manages to lock down another kill. So we find ourselves 5 versus 2 now as they start raining in. Bodies are dropping all over the place here. Soldier and Canos getting in on the action. And that leaves us now 5 versus 1. Suzuki has a huge task ahead of him.
Yeah, left the bottom floor unchecked, and we did see Tomorrow going for that run out, taking down the one onto the rappel, basically stopping the attack through Solarium in its tracks. As you said, really liked the way that they used it, but unfortunately no breach came through, and now it's only up to Suzuki try and get an ace clutch underway. Managed to get the first kill already as Tomorrow got picked off. Spots out Soldier, but he's not going to be able to quite find a kill yet. Also, that shield still being played inside the bathtub, making it really hard for him to get through, as that is going to be impossible. Soldier knocks down that final kill, and Talon will be able to pick up round number 1 on their defense after, well, they wanted to go for a execute with that Monty, but they just weren't able to get past Solarium.
Going to be heading into round 2 then, with Talon taking the initial blow there onto CYCLOPS. It was a good defense from them, very aware of the entire map, managing to find kills away from site and then just be able to focus on that site itself. The utility was well placed. There was plenty of opportunity for CYCLOPS, but they were unable to clear out the mute jammer, get the wall open with the Selma device that A-Gator placed on there from Solarium, and it was just a tough round for them all around. Now, Monte this time going to be traded away, not really offering too much value for Anaton last time around, so they're going to opt for the book instead this time. That's going to allow them, it's a good call, they're going to attack on to bar and game there, so they need to get above, they need to get control over library, they need to get control over the fireplace or mezzanine, the lobby above fireplace. They need to get control of all that area and just rip up the floor. That's the top and bottom of this one. Get some vertical angles into sight and try and make it difficult for the defenders, make it uncomfortable for them.
Now, I was reading some of the tweets that Jesse put up, Big Brain Jesse from NA, and he said that this is the side that is the best defendable, in his opinion, the bar side. But in NAL, they did play with a mirror, if I'm correct.
It's never what you want to see.
No, they was trying to make rotationals, no, not really rotationals, even just angles with the Karatos, and you don't really walk in front of a man that's firing a gun. That doesn't really help you out, especially not if Labyrinth gets taken out. So not a great start here for Talon. Luckily for them, they already had 1 round on the board, and let's see if they're going to be able to bring this back into their favor. Or maybe an aggressive peak early on, but, you know, that's a bit of a risk as well. Do you really want to risk it? You know, maybe going 3v5 for the rest of the round, but you need to do something to bring it back, right? So it's up to them now.
A key point of note there would be how many of those mute jammers were actually placed as well before Labyrinth was taken down. Are they active? Are they out there in the map, or did they die along with him? Because we saw it be pivotal last time around. A-Gator was unable to open a key wall because of a mute jammer that was placed on it. So if they have not been placed and are not available, it could have a big impact on the round. Now, as you say, they need Talon at this point to have one of their big players have a big moment and get a couple of kills and just give them the advantage. Now, Tomorrow's well aware there's one outside. Canos it is ultimately that finds Anaton, and Tomorrow does nothing more than give away his location, and Black Ray is able to pop up from outside that window frame and shut down Tomorrow's assault that is coming out of the window, leaving us 4 versus 3 halfway through the round, and Gatarada putting that Kali sniper rifle to great use there to shut down Canos. This one is looking like a CYCLOPS round all day long.
So far it does, with Soldiers not done yet, able to pick up one of the kills, bringing it back to a 3v2 situation, 2v2 actually, as Azzy able to pick up a beautiful kill from a longer angle. The diffuser, however, going down right now. The sound will be giving it away, and they're trying to find the angle, but they're not able to find him yet. Yes, they do. Through the smoke, we'll be able to find a hat, stop the defuse, and bring it back to a one-on-one right now. A full 66 seconds on the clock for Suzuki to try and play it out against Azzy, and well, it is the Echo, which means that there could be yokais on the board giving away information, and Suzuki deciding to go on his drone himself as well, as we'll be hoping to find out where the Echo is playing, where the Echo is located. It'll put its own drone into a flank drone position right here. Suzuki loses his, and that means that the information was there for Azzy, but he gets taken out nonetheless. Suzuki able to clutch it out for CYCLOPS, and almost, even though they lost a member early on due to an unlucky team kill, you could say. Managed to almost bring it back. But CYCLOPS, nonetheless, able to win the attack.
Good round for CYCLOPS, good round for us. 1-1 on the board means we are starting to see a competitive game here. We never want a team running away from it, and that is not what we are seeing so far. So heading into round number 3, then we come on the back of a second round that saw an early team kill, which certainly won't have helped Talon, and I'm sure will be something that they will avoid at all costs this time. They want Labyrinth alive and active through the round, and it was just unfortunate last time that he was caught in the crossfire as angles and lines of sight were being opened up. So heading into this one is something they need to take extra care of as they head down to kitchen and dining.
Decided to continue the rotation, not stick with Bar, even though they almost managed to win it. No clue how the extra men would have been working out there. I have to give credits to Black Ray though. I think he played a very crucial role early on in the game, just waiting for the member to be out of ammo. Canis, I believe it was. Was it Canis? Yeah, it was.
It's tomorrow on the window.
Oh, was it tomorrow? Yeah, on the window.
Yeah.
On the window.
Yeah, it was a great play.
So, like,
great play.
Yeah, he was waiting until he was out of ammo. He was holding the jump out because, of course, like there's one way you could go at it. You can try and find it from the window, but he was unable to do so, and only stood up after he had to go for that reload just to pick up a free kill. Also, beautiful kill from Scissor C right here.
You got to make an argument there for the Echo, just maybe getting himself a little bit safer. There was a hard reinforce just to his side.
Yeah.
You got to keep yourself in behind that. At that point in time, you're playing for time. You're not looking to aggressively peek on. You're trying to force Suzuki's hand. You're trying to force him to have to do something like put the diffuser down and leave himself completely vulnerable, especially when you've got Yokai drones to play with as well. So I think just overexposing himself a little bit there, I'm sure something that Aziz will learn from and we'll try to avoid next time around in the same situation. But 5 versus 5, we head into round 3. No early kill this time around and no team kill, which is good news for Talon. And just as I say that, we have somebody flash in front of that Kali scope, and your stomach always goes at those moments. But the only person flashing in front of the Kali scope is Tomorrow, as Gatorada shuts him down, and he's having a great day so far with the sniper rifle.
Not even the DBNO first onto Tomorrow, just a straight up kill coming through, and it's going to be the entry that they need. And we do not often see the Kali being used as a replacement for Thatcher, for example. Now I'm wondering, there is not even a Thatcher is available, so I'm not quite sure whilst to bring it anyway, but they managed to get some kills with it, and it makes for some great gameplay, so I'm happy for it. And as he proceeds to shoot up a couple of the LV Lancers just to deny any Mugem or Electroclot that could be there, it's Suzy C with a great grenade, bringing it up to a 5v3 situation here for CYCLOPS.
CYCLOPS are starting to look good here in the interplay during the mid-round. They're winning almost all of the gunfights and battles. Talon's competitiveness inside of round 2 came from a flurry of late kills, effectively, when they were already at a man disadvantage. Now, Gatorade is going to take a little bit of damage there, and Alligator has been taking shots as well. So it's not all roses at this point for CYCLOPS, but they certainly are on top of things in a 5 versus 3. And this is what I like to see from them. And to be honest, Talon, right now, you've shown us more in previous weeks. And, you know, we really need them to step up and start making a game of this defense, because they don't want to find themselves too far behind when they get to the half.
Surely not. Luckily, it's a new map, and there is still an opportunity that Talon have probably figured out the best attack strategy someone will ever see. It's a possibility, and that might give them the edge in the end. But, of course, you want to get as many of your defensive rounds in as early as possible. CYCLOPS putting down some pressure. 30 seconds now, meaning that they will be entering soon. Black Ray still from below, holding off to the hatchets. Azzy, that is going to be trying to come and challenge. A soldier will go quite low. Is Black Ray going to be aware of the fact that Azzy is on the top of these stairs? He's going to be missing some shots into the multi. Now, surely Black Ray is aware. Will be trying to go for that push. Spots out the player, gets the kill as well. Brings it into a 5v2, but they need to go for the plant soon. As Gator now will be able to go for that plant, as it's only up to Canis now, coming from the back. Takes down one. Is going to be covered off by the second, but he gets him as well. Is he going for the third? Not yet, as he's quite low himself right now. Going for the 21 bullets. Anaton putting down some pressure. 40 seconds on that clock. Going to be finding the Monty, but not able to hit anything as of yet. Going to be challenged. Going to be hopefully taken out right there. Gator with the final kill. CYCLOPS able to win round number 3 and put themselves into the lead.
Great focus from CYCLOPS there in round number 3. As you say, they had strong man advantage, but they didn't let that take them away from the overall objective, which was Alligator getting himself in sight and getting that diffuser down on the ground and really putting Talon on the back foot. It was a final nail in the coffin, I think, at that point. Only a matter of time until the round ended, as we saw. So CYCLOPS still going well at this point, just looking more clinical inside of the map for me at the minute, Hap.
Definitely, this is more the CYCLOPS that we expected to see in like, well, probably last game as well, right? CYCLOPS is a team that is really starting to show up this stage, trying to take that second place position, and, well, it does look like they are starting to go back to that right now. This is more of the, the CYCLOPS we're used to be seeing, just being clinical, being able to take these gunfights, win them, and snowball on the back of it. That's currently they're 2-1 up. Going back to Bar right now. Not to the site that was originally won, I believe, by Talon. Decided that one might have been a bit too close, so Bar again being ran.
As you say, it was close last time around, coming down to a 1 versus 1. Ultimately, Aziz finding himself a little bit out in the cold as he left himself exposed through a soft wall and got himself killed. But I'm sure this time around, Talon are going to adapt. They're going to change things up. We can see a lot of utility being applied to that double window. That was where last time around, CYCLOPS tried to hop in through there and get the diffuser down on the ground. So this time, a double frost mat situation and a Surya Gate as well, just to really try and slow down that push.
Finding whenever the frost mat gets put down onto a black set of stairs, it's so hard to see in that case, and sometimes you catch one off guard, especially if they're trying to fight upwards. He will not be looking to the ground as soon as he almost gets his toes shot out underneath him. Quickly showed himself to toss in a grenade, but almost cost him his life, and Kanos not able to secure that kill. C will stay alive, and also remember, might be necessary elsewhere, might be necessary later. This will be rotating around, trying to go for a bit of a safer approach, tossing in a second grenade right here.
Won't have any joy at the moment, and Suzuki just moves away there, knowing that that battle is done for the time being. Now then, we have the pleasure of outlines, but Alligator does not, unaware that there's a man there, and he takes a few pot shots, but there are walls and obstacles in between the two. So Aziz in the same location once again, just playing in that little bar game corridor there, just trying to hold down the site and prevent any potential diffuser going down on the ground. But right now, CYCLOPS not really in a position to do that. We see them finally moving themselves into sight, into the map rather. Black Ray getting himself involved internally, looking to clear out anybody in the top floor. And right now we are stacking up to try this double window plant once again. But CYCLOPS, they need to have an answer first to all the utility, which we see partially dealt with. But we have one frost mat remaining. Interesting to see whether they're aware that the grenade has not cleared out both. Anaton finds the opening kill onto Tomorrow, and we've now 5 versus 4.
Drones currently not checking out on that frost mat, so might be able to catch one off. Instead, the drones are trying to find the locations of these players. Alligator able to find one, but not able to reply to it yet. Smokes are being tossed in. That might indicate the start of the push, the start of the execute, as Black Ray holding off the stairs will be able to pick up the first kill, or second kill rather, of the round, hoping to go even more aggressive, but C will be going down. Still, the diffuser is now dropped. They need to pick that one up. 40 seconds on that clock. Black Ray able to pick up yet another kill. 4v2, counting down. 35 seconds, a couple of members below, a couple of members above, and while Labyrinth is getting a lot of red pings right here, he's not able to find anybody as of yet, and as another smoke grenade is going to be coming in right here, I believe, from Alligator. He's going to be jumping right into the frost mat. That's the diffuser again, drop, but now in the middle of the site, and that is going to be making a very tough situation here for Talon. Gadarada then will be doing something about it, and he's going to be able to finish it off as well, taking a second kill with the SMG. CYCLOPS able to win it nonetheless, even though the diffuser dropped in one of the last very seconds of the round.
Inevitable for CYCLOPS there. I think they were completely unaware of the second frost mat not being cleared out, and we foresaw it a minute and a half before it happened. We knew somebody was going to get their leg trapped in that, and that was exactly what happened. Diffuser left cold on the ground, but it didn't really matter too much at that point because it was 4 versus 1 on the man count. CYCLOPS again doing great work, just getting those kills and giving themselves the man advantage throughout the round, so they were able to come in and just finish the last man. It really didn't matter too much much that Aegator had found his way into that frost map, but something they need to be careful of going forward, as we see Soldier still bringing along those traps. So 3-1 on the scoreboard. CYCLOPS, they are rolling here.
CYCLOPS are rolling indeed. 3-1, and now finally Talon decide to go back to the stronghold that they managed to create last time on that top floor. Really love to see that shield in the bathtub right there. It's hard to get rid of, considering the fact that, well, it is a bathtub that is explosive proof, bulletproof from below. You see as well a castle barricade being used, so you know, there's no direct pressure coming down from the window either trying to get a grenade in, and even if they want to jump in to try and challenge it that way, there's a frostman underneath, so a lot of utility right there into that bathroom. Also with the Melusi onto the piano, pretty well locked down, I have to say.
Talon not taking any chances here. They know that they need to pay some attention now to this side of the map, as last time that is where a lot of the action came from CYCLOPS. They got themselves pushed up the stairs with the Monty, which they will not bring along this time. Navigator tried to breach that wall directly into sight, but was unable to due to the mute jammers that were placed, and I'm sure Labyrinth will have put them in the same position. Now, Talon were well aware of the basement entrance last time around. It was Tomorrow who got the opening kill down there in Big Garage. So something again that CYCLOPS need to be cautious of. They can't assume because they're going into the map elsewhere, not on the top floor, that they are going to go in unchallenged. And talking about challengers, Azish right now up on that library window, just looking to peek out from the top of library stairs and make Gatarada's life difficult.
Yeah, he's very key right here because as I was saying, that shield is a very important part in the actual setup. And as I said, the Aegator already going down for that smoke. They have detections, but there's a smoke canister. I don't know why he canceled right there, but he's going to be going down yet again. And Soldier now will be stopping the diffuser, meaning that the diffuser will be dropped. CyC will recover it. Black Crate is going to be failing, actually, getting the kill down onto Canos. And that leaves CyC right here in a 1v4 situation. A lot of time left. He can take the 1v1s, but he's not going to be winning them. Canos able to pick up the kill right here. Talon yet again will be winning the top floor. And right as I was saying, like, I really like what CYCLOPS is doing right here, trying to take care of that shield. And I like the adaptation that was being brought by Talon by playing someone onto the library window. They just went for the plant. But somehow they quit planting. I don't know what happened there. It wasn't a stun, I believe. Wasn't maybe a selfie stun. That could have been the case, actually.
Very possibly. I mean, ultimately, Talon take the round. It's the one site that they have been able to lock down is that top floor. They're now having to go to kitchen and dining, which we saw them defend back in round 3. Aegator was able to get a plant down successfully, and CYCLOPS won the round. So it's looking on course for CYCLOPS to take an advantage at the half here and take 4-2, moving into their defensive phase, which I think will be a big blow for Talon here, because by and large, they've not been winning too many of these gunfights. Apart from that top floor site, anywhere else where it's come down to a 50-50 fight, we've seen them overrun by CYCLOPS, and that is going to bode well for CYCLOPS when they get onto the defense and they can play out on the roam and make themselves unpredictable and just really hassle the flanks of Talon and not let them settle into those attacks.
Definitely is. I'm just a bit still confused as of why Aegator stopped going for the defuse blend there. It must be. The one thing I can imagine is, look, there's two options, right? Maybe a concussion was being shot in to check, but due to the frost being around the corner, it exploded and actually stopped him from getting down the diffuser, meaning that they had to go for the reset. It was literally 1 second off or something, mind you. Or it was he went off because of a gunfight didn't go CYCLOPS' way. So there's either option, but somehow they still managed to lose the round as a result.
We can see last attacking round then, and Anaton is going to double down on that Montagna and bring along the shield for one last ride here as they try to bully their way into the map and try to push Talon around whilst feeding as much information back as possible. That's what Monty is there to do. First and foremost, to move defenders around to force them out of key areas whilst at the same time feeding information back into the team and letting them know exactly where everybody is. He can be great on the roam clearances. He just goes in with that bulletproof shield in front of him and just basically muscles roamers away from where they're trying to play and just forces them back into other areas of the map and ideally into crossfires set up from his team.
Ideally, yeah, and I can only imagine what Cyclops will bring on the defense. I can expect a whole lot of clash coming down if this is the way they want to play. Either way, 2 minutes left on that clock. Cyclops, they know what the site is, but they need to make a decision. Are we going for the top floor take, or are we going for a horizontal one? And it looks like Hannes is aware of the fact that one is creeping around onto that balcony. Scatterata comes around the corner. Canis is already long gone. Not going to be able to find that kill, but he's still being juggled around right here. The shield putting up some pressure. He is tempted to rotate out. Shows his back quickly to the window. Needs to go for that gunfight, but will not be able to hit it yet as he tries and manages to rotate all the way out.
Still 5 versus 5 as Canos just dives back in through the window there, unable to find anything on his nitro from the Mozzie, as is challenging the library stairs window as well. And we can see that this is all getting a bit fraught up on the top floor here, but Cyclops not making too much headway. As I say that, Gatorade are able to find that first kill, and they come raining in. I really am sorry, Talon. That was cast a curse there. They were doing such a good job, Azis and Canos up on that top floor, just ducking, weaving, dipping, diving, dodging, keeping themselves out of trouble, but it only lasted for so long. They were shut down, and now it is all up to Labyrinth, closed out by Suzuki. And what a great collapse from Cyclops there. They spent 2 minutes building that one up, just making the defenders twist and turn and move around into uncomfortable positions until they were able to find those shots, and boy did they.
Gatorada really picking up 2 kills right there. Great read that he was being pushed from the library hallway. 180 flicked it, managed to get the headshot, was quite low. Hence the reasoning for him to jump out, jump down off that balcony. And then you saw the refrag attempt was coming in from one of the members on the likes of Talon. However, there was a claymore on that window, so he literally found nothing. Gatorada able to pick up 2 kills as a result because of that 180 flick right there, opening up everything for Cyclops to put themselves up to 4. And now they're going to the defense, and Bar Gaming is going to be the first one they go to instantly, also bringing the Frost. And my question now will be, are we also going to see a double Frost mat stack up on that window because it managed to catch them off guard once?
I'm sure there's a definite possibility there. As you say, once you've suffered to something yourself, you know that it can work and that it may be useful to add to your arsenal of inventory. So we'll see as the round progresses where those frost mats go and exactly what the setup is. Now, no echo on the side of the defenders this time. That was something that Talon tried to double down on, really, but were basically unsuccessful with it. It didn't really have a huge impact on the round. Now, instead of the double frost mat on the double window, they've gone for it on a potential point of ingress there, Hap. Just the single window coming in there to the corridor at the sort of mid-library stairs level. So we'll see how that progresses in the round. I don't know how much value will be placed on that window from Talon, but we have seen already it approached as a point of entry.
We have it seeing used as a point of entry, potentially, right? It's actually where Suzuki managed to get the last kill, and I believe that was the second round, clutching it out back when the team kill happened, trying to push over from that side. So, you know, if that Frostmat would have been there, it could have potentially won the round back then. Anyway, 4-2. Cyclops are in the lead. Cyclops are the ones in the driver's seat as well, and they have the opportunity to try and clear it out. As Gatorada will be taking care of some of the drones, trying to hunt him down in Solarium. He also knows they want to get that top control because it is literally super important if you want to go for that take. You need to have library, you need to have control of the vertical angles, and then you still need to come down onto the bar and onto that little pantry right next to it before you can even think about going for a plant.
1 minute gone in the round then, and still 5 versus 5 as neither have come to blows just yet. And this is a really fascinating point of the game. We've got Cyclops moving on to their first defense. Talon looking to mount an attack, challenging unsuccessfully so far. And this will really give us an indicator of how this game might finish off. If Talon can come in here and get the win, keep themselves in touch, then we could be on for a really hard and close fought game. Now, Canos just holding a tight angle there to the top of library stairs, but he's not going to get any joy whatsoever as no bullets will connect. And as I say, if Cyclops can win this one out with their first defense, it goes 5-2. You feel like they're really starting to run away with things at that point, and it doesn't matter which side of the table that they're on, but what does matter is which side of the fight Blackray is on, because as he moves up through Solarium, he gets shut down by Labyrinth, leaving us 5 versus 4. Talon have an advantage here. Can they make it pay?
Can they make this happen? Can they use this to snowball the site in just a little bit because there's only 60 seconds left. Talon, they are in need of, well, starting to approach that site, and they do not have many people left towards the actual site that is, because they're still trying to take Library Hallway right here, and there is a Banshee in the middle of it, and they need to take care of that first. There's a couple of Magnets, I believe, located in that position. They finally did manage to take it out. There's 2 members, however, on the stairs right here. I believe one more maybe in Fireplace, so there's a complete lockdown onto this side. Selma will be used to create a line of sight. Still 30 seconds left on the clock. Talon really need to hurry up now. There's not much time. They need to hit the site. It's not going to be on that top floor, and well, they are being starved out for time right here. And as long as Anaton is still here, gets a beautiful shot. Gatorado will be able to pick up one as well. The smoke will be covering off the line of sight, but with 15 seconds left on the clock right now, Cyclops is starting to fight back. Still the shield in the middle of the staircase there, but it's Azzy in the meantime coming down from the back, able to pick up one, trying to go for the second, not able to land it though. However, swaps off to the pistol, but the diffuser is down in the meantime, and Gator is going to be able to pick up that final kill. Cyclops able to put themselves up to 5 rounds. Only need 1 more for a point and 2 more for the full 3.
Cyclops starting to answer questions that were maybe asked on the back of the Fnatic matchup. They are certainly a top team, and I think really this gives a little bit of context in towards that game itself as well. With, you know, I was wondering, is this that Cyclops have sort of given that result up, or is it the Fnatic have come in and taken it? And I think at this point, you know, we can safely say that it's Fnatic have come in and played well and taken it. And right now, Cyclops, they are well on top here. 5-2. There's going to be a well-timed tactical timeout coming in from Talon. Absolutely no surprises there, because they are staring down the barrel of a potential match point here.
Yeah, they are indeed, and that means that they need to start hitting back now. And, you know, they went for a top take. Yes, sure, right? It can work out, but you cannot leave it down to the last 30 seconds, especially not with the amount of utility still left onto the library stairs. You had a shield there. Hey, they managed to smoke it off, but it doesn't matter. There was still a player down onto Fireplace that they were unaware of, and crossfires started happening right there. So they didn't even manage to reach the site. They were being shut down before they even had the opportunity to go for that plant. And well, that's a really good defense from Cyclops. They're well read into how Talon want to go for the approach. Probably the early kill that we saw gave away a little bit of the game, you know, that they wanted to go from the Solarium side and push all the way through, which allowed them to maybe reposition a couple of the players, but still very well adapted to whatever Talon was bringing. Just bringing the fight towards the stairs, towards the library hallway with the amount of time that was left. Leaving one guy on site, plenty of left to actually win the round in that case.
Yeah, well, what Cyclops did, they just drew a line in the sand and they said, we're not budging beyond that. And they were able to just hold fast and, as you say, burn a lot of time. So great play from them. 5-2 now, coming into a basement defense this time around. We're going to be seeing Snowmobile and Wine this time as the site of choice. Now, there's a couple of sort of thought processes, a couple of methods for attacking here. We do sometimes see a lot of approach and pressure coming in from Trench, which is on the right-hand side of your screen there, and also from the big garage side. So all from the north and east, and try to open those 2 hard reinforced walls that we can see in front of us now that are just having the mute jammers placed on them, and the Melusi is also going down, a Kaid Electroclaw. So there's obviously a lot of focus from Cyclops on that northeast push, but there is also the potential for getting that good old-fashioned south Snowmobile wall open and just applying some direct pressure into sight. You can do it from outside of the map, just hold it with a nice scope and just lock it down and prevent the defenders from cycling through there.
I'm going to say they do have the MK14 available on Soldier, of course, but he seems to be going for the backside first. I still see the rotate coming out a bit later on, as he is rappelling all the way up to the roof. The potential run out from the big garage doesn't seem to be happening so far, though. Talon trying to find themselves an entry, trying to find themselves a way in, trying to gauge where the weak point is of Cyclops' defense currently so they can try and hopefully abuse it. So far, not really able to find anything yet because Cyclops, they're not budging.
Canos just holding an angle from that trophy window at the moment, looking to, again, see if he can catch anybody out in a rotation or a crossfire there, but nothing doing at the moment. There's not too much presence inside of the map yet from Talon. They are moving sort of slowly, but slowly works as Tomorrow finds a headshot onto Black Grey. That's going to leave us now 5 versus 4, but don't get too excited just yet, Talon. Tomorrow has taken a lot of damage, and they got the opening kill last time around, but CYCLOPS was still able to frustrate them in the late round and prevent them having the time that they needed. And interestingly, halfway through the round happened, we've still got Talon clearing the very top floor here. Let's not forget that this is a basement attack.
This is a basement attack indeed, but there's only 2 people on the side. If they would be reading this, there is an opportunity of just overrunning them, especially when you have these EE1Ds available to you. Anaton, of course, with the Area C7, is not going to be spotted out by Azzy, who is trying to find him on that drone. Will be missing the actual spot. Should be aware of the somewhat position, however, as Labyrinth now able to pick up the kill into Gadarada. Anaton still on that roam. This should be the call for Talon to actually hit the site, because they have a 2-man advantage and make it a 3 if they all just hit the side directly. So this should be their round. They should be just peeking in right now, but they're taking a bit of damage as they try and take care of the utility.
Tomorrow still low health, will blast through. It's Aziz who actually gets the kill onto Anaton. 5 versus 2 now, and this is all going in the favour of Talon. Suzuki just trying to hold down with that big Alder. We know the clutch capability that lies behind that weapon, so all is not done yet for CYCLOPS, but it is going to take a gargantuan effort to overrun this round. And Ayagator manages to find one with a headshot onto Canos. Looks to get aggressive, moves around. He knows there's a second there. Can he find him? Yes, he can. That's the shotgun, but shut down from behind by Soldier. Aziz, meanwhile, closes down the Maestro, and that's going to be round for Talon. That looked a little bit shaky in the last few seconds there, but ultimately a great reaction from Soldier.
Great call as well, just pushing there with that shotgun, hoping to shut down that diffuser. Just wasn't aware of the man dropping down the hatch and chasing him down. Otherwise, that could have actually been a round there for CYCLOPS, who decide to go wine and snowmobile again. Maybe with a little bit of a lesser roam, considering the way that, you know, the E1Ds really helped shutting them down. They lost 2 members up there without really being able to get a kill in return. Yes, they did manage to basically take 99 points of damage on 2 players, but that still means they have guns. That still means there is a man advantage, and, well, you can still easily overrun the site in that case. And well, the line is going to get 6 picked off now. It is going to be replaced by an IQ, which would be helpful, finding the Yokais that are being brought by Suzuki and the Black Eyes, of course, that are being brought by Gadarada. So a lot of the information that CYCLOPS is hoping to use to their advantage might just as well be counted off by Azzy.
Site setup going ahead once again. Rotation being opened between Wine and Snowmobile. Pretty standard. Mute jammers being placed down. So very much the same on site from CYCLOPS. But as you say, it's really the off site that they need to think about this time around. We can see Valkyrie up there on the top floor using that deagle to just open up onto trophy window. It was a point of access last time around. We saw the Ash of Canos just coming in through there and looking to apply pressure to the top floor. So it would appear that CYCLOPS are doubling down on the roam here. It's just whether they go quite as heavy as last time around or not. Of course, as we saw, 3 to 4 at times out there away from site, but this time they need to be a little bit more measured in that, I think.
Have to be indeed, and it seems like this will be an actual snowmobile take right here. You see Labyrinth ready to throw up the Selmas. The Ash Charge will be taking care of the Mute Gemmer, and that means that the Selmas will start to breach right now. Ayagator, nothing he can do. There is no tricking with that Mute Gemmer. As soon as it starts going, there's no holding back. As he trying to find a bit of a weird angle in between the trees. Not going to be able to find it. Gadarada still very aggressive right here. Knows one is outside, hoping to bring the advantage to their way. Oh, actually spotting it out because of the phone ringing. Really smart player. Really good synergy coming down here from the 2 operators.
Gadarada lucky not to take any damage there as the IQ uses the gadget just to identify that electrical source and shoot up through the flooring, but none of those bullets will connect. You've got a lot of obstacles to contend with when trying to do that, of course, not least of all the metal joists that are located through the floor. So right now, Anaton, he's still up there on the roam on the top floor. Tomorrow is supporting. I believe the Valkyrie is up there, Gadarada as well joining. So there's 2 it to be cleared out for Talon here. Half of the round gone. I'm sure they know where these players are. It's now about just going in and closing them down, and that's what they try to do. But Gatorada, he's got his man's back, and he's going to shut down tomorrow, but Canos does find the angle onto Anaton, so that's one going to either side, but it does leave Talon with a pretty problem, as they still have Aroma up on the top floor that is unaccounted for. Gatorada could be a nightmare here. We've got players on the mid floor as well, just unable to shut CYCLOPS down quite as well as last time, but as you suggested, they might have, they're just going into site instead and looking to get aggressive and get the diffuser down. Labyrinth has already had an attempt, but he has to dip off for the time being. 2 versus 3 after a flurry of kills.
Now they have the control. This is the control Talon needs to try and go for this plant, but as he needs to be able to pick up that kill, and he will. Only up to Gatorada now in a 1v3 situation in a post plant. User is planted in wine in a very safe position. No way that he was going to be able to counter that. And there we have it. Canos able to pick up yet another kill. Talon able to bring it back slowly. They're starting to creep back towards the equal numbers here. I believe it's now currently 5-4. As we're heading into round number 10, CYCLOPS will have the site reset. They will be allowed to go back to the bar if they want to. But they surely probably shouldn't be going downstairs anymore, as it just clearly hasn't been working.
Great response from Talon here, as we're going to have a tactical timeout from CYCLOPS this time around. They are going to just be taking a little pause to try and take stock of what is going on. No surprise after 2 losses coming in Snowmobile. And now they find themselves with Talon within touching distance at 5-4. And this is not necessarily what we expected to see, but the attackers having a field day on Chalet so far.
They're really having a good time so far indeed. And, well, you know, Talon just had their tactical timeout. They managed to win 2 rounds on the back of it. So CYCLOPS is like, we need 2 rounds. Let's just put up our tactical timeout now as well. Maybe the magic works the same way. But, of course, like, they just lost twice. By being outplayed, outgunned, they just run into the side and managed to get the diffuser down, and nothing is there to stop it. Something went wrong. They need to quickly chat about it, all right? Guys, we're going to slow it down. Maybe we go for a different site next time. First, of course, focus on the site at hand to make sure we secure that 1 pointer. Then we try and see how we get over to that 3rd. This is also a bit of a momentum break right here. Talent starting to build it up. You want to get them out of their groove, out of their rhythm. Make sure that they're not going to be able to continue on the high that they've just been managing to build up over the last 2 rounds.
Going to be heading into round 10 when we rejoin the game then, as we are back in now and going to bar and gaming once again. As you said, Hap, this is a site that CYCLOPS won on the defense back in round 7. It was their first defense and first and only successful defense. So they're going to hope to get the same result here and put themselves onto the match point, of course, and that might just apply a little bit of added pressure to that Talon attack, and we might not see them be quite as clinical as we have previously. Now, the Frost this time not doubling down on the same window. We're going to have the 2 frost mats on the double window this time. It certainly looks that way, as one is placed off to the side. Yes, there we go, the second one coming in. So that was a method that was used successfully against CYCLOPS by Talon when they were on the defense, and you got to be very careful. They threw a nade in, tried to clear those out, but only managed to get one as the nade went too deep. So it's just about due diligence, making sure that you've done what you can. Now, interestingly, Suzuki is going to move a trap, so there's now only one on there. Do you think there's a little bit of baiting going on there, hoping that they've seen that on the drone and start to burn some utility unnecessarily on that location?
They might have actually heard it, but this is going to be a really good replacement right here, because Canos, of course, wants to be going down from the basement side of things, right? Comes in from the snowmobile, could be pushing up through the blue stairs, and maybe you catch him off guard in that position, or at least slow him down. Now, what you were saying is maybe they knew a drone was near. Maybe the drone heard the second frost mat to be picked up, and thus they decide to relocate it as soon as the round starts. Also, one thing I wanted to point out, though, there's no grenades on the likes of Talon. So it would have been really hard to clear both of those frost mats. Maybe they had to use an impact on the likes of Zofia or a breaching round on Ash. So I would have actually been totally for it, for them to use a total double frost mat there, but they decided to swap it around, and let's see if it works out.
Soldier just looking to get onto those windows again. It's something that Talon have had great success with so far, is watching these angles and cutting off defenders as they move around. We can see Aziz there, just a little bit of trigger discipline. He's feeding the information in. He knows that there's a defender rotating around on that top floor, and he's just going to hold his angle and wait for his opportunity for the time being. He's hoping for a peek at this window, and if it comes, he will, without a out, shut them down as he will find the headshot. But for the time being, the defenders, CYCLOPS, are playing this a little bit coy at this moment in time, not wanting to get too aggressive onto the windows or onto the attackers. So we're still 5 versus 5, 1 minute 20 left.
The right choice over the last 2 rounds. They managed to consistently lose the entry frag battle, and this time they will be able to pick it up. Anaton shutting down Canis, who jumped in from the K9 window, will be punished off. Azzy, however, will be finding Blackray, I have to say. We're going back to a 4-on-4 situation. So it's a one-on-one trade. Not too shabby, but there's only 60 seconds left. And something we've learned from the last round that they were actually attacking here in the likes of Talon is no one was actually near the site when they needed to approach, when they needed to execute. That's completely different now. There's some people up on the library trying to go for vertical control. There is some people down into fireplace. And they're not really inside of the bedroom now into Master, which was the biggest issue they had. However, Soldier still has a frost mat to deal with if he wants to go for this plant.
Looking at getting in through the double window into games there, but not really in a position to do so just yet, Talon. They don't have sufficient control, and Soldier, that is just 101 on the attack. He fails, he goes in and steps straight into the frost mat. Ayagator goes in there, gets one, and finishes off Soldier as well. This is all going in CYCLOPS' direction right now, and you just feel like Talon haven't had the same grip on this attack as they have on previous ones. Just a lack of information, unaware of that utility, and suffering to it as Anaton makes Tomorrow suffer, and CYCLOPS close out the round. That is going to be 6-4 now, and this is CYCLOPS' opportunity to close this one down inside of regulation.
Second time a Pogmat came in clutch right there. Not really clutch, of course. They were in control of the likes of CYCLOPS, but it's always nice to freely neutralize one of your enemies without him having any risk of taking you down. So 6-4, as you said, 1 point, and they are the ones that have the initiative now. They are the ones that could be going for the full 3-pointer. They will decide to go kitchen dining this time around rather than the bottom floor, as that clearly hasn't really been working out yet, because as soon as bar is on the table, you see Talon struggle. They have no clue how to attack it. As soon as the bottom floor, suddenly they are the gods of Chalet and completely shut you down whatever you do. So something clearly wasn't working out for CYCLOPS there, and Talon able to find like a second breath really onto the attack to the basement. Just they decide smartfully, well, really smartfully, I want to say. I don't know if is that a word, smartfully. I don't think it is.
It's not.
Yeah, I was going to say. But really smart for them, I was going to try and say, for them to actually go for a different side in that case.
I think this is a good site choice from CYCLOPS. I think they have seen success on the mid floor so far. As you said, the basement has not been a friend to them whatsoever, bar they've successfully defended twice. The theory is very similar here for kitchen and dining. Keep hold of that top floor, prevent too much access. That's where we've just seen a couple of good gunfights won for CYCLOPS there that really propelled them towards winning that previous round, round 10. So they've just got to do largely the same thing. Get up there, defend K9 window, defend Solarium side, prevent access to library. Don't let Talon swamp the top floor too quickly, and just prevent the vertical access down into site. And this should be largely okay. But the gunfights, they've been 50-50 so far. Talon have shown that they've got an ability to win them, particularly using those windows well. Now, Canos, he's going to open up Snowmobile Garage this time, so there's a potential for Talon to try and get themselves established underneath and move up the stairs, but they cannot ignore that top floor.
They cannot, indeed. They need to be able to take control of that. And whilst I do like Canis opening up on the snowmobile quickly, trying to put some pressure down onto that basement, it's not really been working out too much for them yet, I believe. I think they've seen many kills from there as he actually picking up Blackray. One of the members that is sometimes being caught off guard a little bit in the early gunfight. That's the Warden also gone, and well, looking at the utility, only 3 flashbangs, 2 smokes could be really useful in the later stages of the round, so it's unfortunate to lose him right now.
1 minute gone in the round, and as you say, unfortunate for CYCLOPS to have lost that Warden early. Talon, again, they've done this a few times now, able to get themselves the advantage in the early round and find those kills on rotating defenders. As it's just clearing out underneath, making sure that there are no roamers left. He is going to come head-to-head with Gatarada very soon, potentially, as he's cautious of the hatch, and right to be. And we can see 2 members of CYCLOPS just retreating safely up those west main stairs to get themselves out of trouble and to just burn a little bit more time for Aziz as he tries holding on to that hatch. They do need to be aware, though, as they move in, that they don't expose themselves to the reverse vertical angle.
I'm going to say there's no business for the defenders right now on that hatch. They should just stay put in their current positions and hope that they are going to be able to hold them off. As Talon hoping to secure the top 4 control. That's a great shotgun kill from Gator coming in right there, dropping down the diffuser, forcing one of the Talon members now to jump through the K9 hatch to secure that package they are so desperately in need of, to make sure that they can go for a plant situation and turn the time against the defenders themselves. Gator getting a little bit of attack. They are aware of his position. Soldier going for the pre-fire, but he's not going to be able to land there. Tomorrow, however, does come in with the refrag, but yet again, the diffuser will be dropped. A lot of time is being lost right here. A lot of precious time is being lost right here by Talon.
30 seconds left to go, and they need to make a move. They need to make it now. 3 versus 3, and CYCLOPS there just happy to start holding their angles. That was almost unfortunate from Suzuki. Pushed through the door as he was still reloading, but still managed to bring the shotgun to bear and find the kill. 2 versus 3 now. 15 seconds left to go, and this is looking more and more like a CYCLOPS positive outcome here, like a victory for them. Another dub in the column as Tomorrow tries to push in to find anybody, but CYCLOPS are playing it safe. They're trying to back off, trying to create distance. Tomorrow, however, will close down that difference with a kill onto Anatom, but it's down to Gatorada and Suzuki to finish things off. They find the double that is going to close out the round and the map, and that is a successful win for CYCLOPS.
I was going to say it might have been a little bit closer than we've actually realized, Ace, because the diffuser was down in the top 4. The round was already won anyway, as soon as they decided to go for the horizontal kills. And yet every single member of CYCLOPS left at the last couple of seconds inside of that hallway. So just imagine the gunfights would have gone Talon's way. That would have suddenly been a 6-5, but nonetheless, CYCLOPS able to close it out, able to bounce back from yet again an unlucky opening to that round, as Talon was